Hey guys, welcome back to day 53 of 119 days of link building. I'm your host, Deepak Shukla at Pearl Lemon. We're an SEO agency based in London, but serving clients worldwide. And today we're going to be talking fundamentally about local press link building. So if you want to get access to an additional 17 strategies that are not shared in this training, then click the link in the description below to get access to some training you will not find here. So fundamentally, today we're talking about local press link building. So it's a little bit self-explanatory, I think, but what I want to draw upon is some key and crucial elements that I don't think are necessarily as crystal clear to everybody. So fundamentally, as a business, you have your local press, okay? So your local press, and let me run through actually the layers of this that relate to Pearl Lemon, okay? So fundamentally, local press link building, first of all, is looking at opportunities to find angles to talk about your business in relation to the local press, okay? And contacting ultimately a local community newspaper, you've got local radio, you've got local magazines, you've got a lot of local, ultimately press when you think about it, that, for example, and let's just take the example of Pearl Lemon. So we're going to go on a bit of a, so this is based in EC1. So there you go. I've Googled Pearl Lemon and we get 1,300 searches a month, which is pretty damn cool. But as you can see here, we get EC1V is the area. So let's go to EC1 because that's the postcode, and let's just have a look at what area that is. Okay, so that is the area London EC, Central London, City of London. Okay, perfect. So newspapers in City of London. So here we go. As you can see already, we've identified a lot of newspapers that are technically local to us. Now, if you're not based in the UK, then some of these are big papers where it could be challenging to get some features in. But there's also a lot of smaller press, and you could approach all of them fundamentally when it comes to contacting them in regards to something that's local news. So first of all, we've Googled City of London. Now, City of London is still a big area and it's very dense. So I would say that if we now use the full postcode, EC1V, let's see what that does in terms of areas. EC1V, okay, 1,022 individual postcodes come under the London, which come under the local authority of the Islington Council. So we've got a postcode area guide, okay? So now let's just look further at the actual area once we begin looking at it. So EC1V, electoral wards. So we've got Hoxton, we've got Haggerston, we've got Canonbury, the Beauvoir Town, and we've got Kingsland. Okay, so these are the areas. Now, if we further dig even deeper by clicking on a postcode below, if we then Google Pearl Lemon again, and it's just about identifying what press is actually local. That's what we're doing at the moment. And I think sometimes, depending upon where you are, it's surprising 2NX. Let's have a look in this postcode. Let's look for 2. Okay, so EC1V2 2NX. So there we go, EC1V. So I think it's surprising what's happening in a local area, okay? And we've got fundamentally a postcode breakdown, and now local issues, we can identify what else there is that's happening from the postcode area blog, which is interesting. And then we can, perhaps as we should have done, EC1V newspaper. Let's Google newspaper. Okay. Daily Graph newspaper. And now it's looking at fundamentally perhaps companies that are based there as opposed to potential press. But we're already on a good trail when it comes to And the other thing that we can do to dig in, and don't forget, we've already got the full list of papers here, if we could look at. Okay, oh, here we go. Newspapers for City of London. Let's have a look. List of newspapers in London. Let's have a look at that. Didn't really realise that there was a whole accept. So we've got the City of London newspapers, updated 2020 in hard copy or microfilm. So we could contact all these guys. List of newspapers, City AM, Evening Standard, Metro and Sport. Local paid for. Brilliant. So now we've got even more in the City of London, and we've got the 3 newspapers. So we've got the defunct ones, which are not as relevant anymore. But you can systematically put together outreach for all of these companies and fundamentally say, look, I thought we were a local based business because, we fall within the postcode, especially if you've got an interesting story to tell. Okay. Now that is fundamentally layer 1 of local company press link building. So I think that this is something fundamentally that not many businesses think laterally enough about in terms of how many newspapers there actually are in their area. And it's not just newspapers, there's other things as well. So we'll come on to that in the forthcoming videos, but then looking, if we go further still, into the Kingston Guardian, and we're a marketing agency, let's just say. So Kingston Guardian marketing agency. Let's just have a look at as an example. And let's go to news, maybe. Okay. Let's just go to the Kingston Guardian. Your local Guardian from Kingston, New Malden, and contact us. We've got a contact us link already. But then if we have a look at some of the types of things that they write about, we can surprise his family with Eid Gist, faith in humanity restored. So it's about then finding some angles and strategies that you could read up. But let's just assume that you have something to say about South London's return from quarantine. Let's just say you've got something that happened, and this is a local news piece of interest, and this also relates to like different ways to get actual proper press link building, but we'll come to that. So then we've got Jamie Bennett Ness, news reporter for the Shoppers in South East, covering predominantly Greenwich, Bexley and Dartford. So then you would look at something potentially that you could reach out to Jamie about, and Jamie Bennett Nessie, that's his Twitter, which they've given, retweeted Property Week. We could go and have a look at what's going on with him. But as you can see, guys, there's so many angles that relate to how you could reach out to someone in the local press and see if you can build a connection with them and fundamentally get some local press based upon your local business. All right, cheers, guys.